works even actually if you're laying down and just visualizing yourself seated upright, feeling tall, feeling grounded. And give yourself a few moments just to check in, to notice how you're feeling in your body, but also where your thoughts might be coming from or going to. Allowing a few moments just to breathe. Starting to connect to those big, deep, full breaths coming in, filling the belly, expanding the chest, and those long, slow breaths coming out. And this morning, starting with a little breathing exercise, we'll connect to the Ujjayi breath, or sometimes called ocean breathing, where you're constricting your throat a little bit so that the breath becomes a little more audible. You can hear it and you can feel it a little bit more, like there's some friction in your throat. And so sometimes it helps to think of it as almost like you're fogging up a mirror, or you're using the same muscles like you would to whisper. And just feeling that as you inhale and as you exhale, you're breathing through your nose, but you're feeling it a little deeper down in the throat. And then to hear it even more, let's take maybe 3 or 4 breaths where you're actually covering your ears with your hands. And then you can release your hands when you're done. So you can take your hands to your ears now and continue that ocean breathing. Of course, whenever you finish and your hands are released, again, just a few more breaths, continuing to feel it, continuing to listen for that breath. And I really like to do that when my thoughts are a little more chaotic, when there's a lot going on. Just being able to only hear my breath helps to kind of diminish all that extra chatter. So that's where we'll start with kind of more of that clear, open space to set an intention. Setting an intention for the whole world this morning. Start to think of something that you'd like to put out there, anything at all. A concept, an idea, a feeling. Just starting to feel that thought or idea as a word or a short phrase that you can say to yourself. You can say it as you breathe in and repeat it as you breathe out, really connecting to that feeling, making it a little more tangible. And beginning to imagine that feeling as this idea of light. So you're thinking of that positive thought in the form of light as though it's coming into your body. And you are being filled with that positivity and imagine that you are essentially illuminated or glowing. And continuing to feel that light as you breathe. And each breath, that light both getting a little brighter and also a little more expansive. So in the next breath, maybe feeling all the light going into the surface of your body, or maybe just above the surface of your body, surrounding you. And in another breath, it spreads out even further into the room where you are. Another breath, that light expands into the whole building where you are. And then it really starts to go. It spreads out into the streets where you are and across the neighborhood or the countryside. Continue to spread out that positive thought into your town or your county, into your region, across your states. Eventually imagining that light covering the whole country, covering the whole continent. Another breath, it can reach across the oceans. Another breath, and it goes around the whole world. Just envision the entire planet surrounded in that positive thoughts. Feeling it as that light, like it's wrapping around another layer of the atmosphere. And we'll seal in that positive thought with a breath together. And bring your hands together at your heart. Take a deep breath in. And let that whole breath out. And drawing your attention back inward, bringing it into your own body again. And taking your hands to stack onto your heart. So palms facing you. And once again, we'll take a breath together. Full breath in. A slow breath out. And then from here to all fours, you can help yourself onto hands and knees. Set yourself up for some cats and cows. Align your limbs, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Begin that front and back movement. Beginning to feel that movement with your breath. Those deep full inhales, filling the belly. Long, slow exhales, feeling it all get pressed out from underneath you. And perhaps you can continue to connect to that feeling of light, maybe feeling like it's moving up and down your spine, breaking up some of that stiffness. And you can also continue with those ocean breaths if you like. Whenever you think of it throughout the practice, it often just brings the breath into a really present state, feeling those strong breaths through the throat. And as you're ready, we'll find our way just to a neutral spine. And at that point, you can tuck your toes under and see about just lifting your knees a few inches off the floor. So you're in the same shape, but you're hovering. And if that doesn't work today, just keeping the knees down, but everything is still really active. Breathe. Last breath, just to hover. And then we'll find our way to downward facing dog. Easing yourself up, you might spread yourself out a little bit further. You can move it around a little bit. See how this first down dog feels. When you're ready, you can step forward, bringing your feet towards your hands. And come into a forward fold or a ragdoll pose. And that too, you might get a little movement, a little sway side to side. Big bend of the knees, and then start to straighten. Again, whatever feels good. And coming to a little more of a sturdy forward fold, really grounding into your feet, feeling some of the muscles running up to meet your knees, running up to the hips, lifting into the hips while lowering down through the head.
Give it another full breath in. And all the way out. Next, inhale, halfway lift. Again, really strong legs. The upper body starting to come out to the horizon. And then folding it down again, let it go. Once again, inhale for half lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down. And then all the way up. Arms reach up overhead, take an inhale. Hands to your heart with your exhale. Pause here for a breath in. Let that breath out. We'll warm up with our sun salutations. Arms reach with the inhale. Fold down with your exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Taking it into a plank. However you need to get there, you can step yourself back, finding just that first strong, sturdy plank. Grounding it, pressing back into the heels, pressing down into your fingers. One more full breath in, and using your exhale to lower down. Coming into your back bend with your inhale, press down as you lift forward. And then downward facing dog, bring it on up and back. Take a full breath back there, and let it go. Step forward again, bring it to the front, grounding down to your feet, halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Come back to standing, inhale, come up. Hands to heart, exhale. Another round like that, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Back to plank. Again, exhaling your way back to plank, however you can find it. And you can inhale just to hold it sturdy. The exhale, slowly lowering, come on down. Coming into your back bend with the inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Again, a full breath in. Slow breath out. Bring it forward, step to the front. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise up, inhale. And hands to heart, exhale. We'll add in this round, the arms reach the same way, inhale. And find chair with your exhale. Stay for an inhale. And fold down, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Step the left foot back, finding your way into a lunge. We're going to lower the back knee and lift your body up. Find your balance. Take a big breath at the top, reaching into the fingers. And then all the way down through the exhale, hands to the floor. Stepping back for plank. You can inhale that plank. Exhale to slowly lower. Your back bend, cobra, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, exhale. And deep breath in and out. Once again to the front, bring it forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale, sit. Stay for the exhale. Stand tall with the arms up, inhale. And hands to heart, exhale. Second side, arms up, inhale. Chair, exhale. Stay with the inhale. Fold down into the exhale. Halfway lift, long flat back, inhale. Right foot steps back. So that lunge on the second side, back knee down. Your body comes up. And that balance, find that grounding to lift up, to reach into an inhale. Hands to the floor, exhale. Plank pose, find your inhale. Lower it down, exhale. Your back bend again, inhale. Hands press down, feet press down. Downward facing dog, lift it up. Hips rise, thighs pressing up and back. Sinking down through your heels, sinking down through your head. And let's bring it forward again. Step to the front, halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Again, stay with the exhale. Rise up, inhale. And hands to heart, exhale. Let's pause here, full breath in and out. We'll start in on some more standing work from right here at the front of your mat in a balance pose. So let's start on your right foot. We'll take the left toes back, arms back for airplane pose. Some days this is airplane. Otherwise, beginning to tilt forward. Forward, and the back leg may lift. See about grounding into the inner edge of your foot on the floor, feeling a little more engagement through the inner edge of your leg, coming up to the center of the core. From there, we'll find the floor behind you with your foot all the way down into crescent lunge. So you might take a few steps to get a nice long stance there, ground into it, and lift up through it. Really pushing into that back leg, so you're really leaving the front leg from some of that work that you've done. You might even need to stretch it out for a second before coming back into that lunge. And then we're going to start a little flow. So we'll take the arms back behind you and lean in like airplane pose, but we have that lunge leg underneath you. And then bring it back up, nice and tall, reach it through from your waist all the way up to the hands. And then again, leaning in. And once again, float it up. One more time, reaching back as you tilt forward, and then lift it all up. And then all the way down, hands to the floor. We'll step it back. And again, your space to flow through. You can continue with planks. You could shift into cat-cow instead. You can always choose to go straight into down dog, straight into child's pose, or even come to seated for a few breaths, wherever you can reset. And then we'll be moving to the front of your mat. Again, you can step it forward, ground it down, find your halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Back to standing, arms reach to the inhale, and hands to heart, exhale. Second side, arms up, inhale, reach, and exhale, fold. Let's just do our standing flow right here. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Back to standing, come back up, and hands to heart. And we'll take our airplane on the second side. Left leg holds you, right toe step back, arms reach back. Again, your version of airplane on this side, and it may be different from the first side. And take it where it can go. Remember that a gazing point, or a drishti as it's called in yoga, is helpful to have something you can look at that's not moving. Rest your gaze. See if that can relax some of the muscles on your face. From airplane to our lunge, so the right leg finds the floor. And it might take a few moments to get that length that you want, or even the width that you want in your posture. Using that back leg, really push down into the ball of the foot. Feel the back of the leg like it's lifting up towards the ceiling. And of course, arms can lift up towards the ceiling, full crescent lunge. Again, we'll be starting that flow. So first position right here, that can be the inhale. And then leaning forward like airplane pose with the exhale. And once again, float it up, stack the spine, reach tall, inhale. Floating forward into that exhale. And again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean in. Last one, inhale to the top. And exhale to the floor. Hands find the mat. Step it back. Blow it through again. Your space to move however you need to move. But tune in. Feel it. Feel your breath. Maybe you can still hear your breath. Eventually back in that reset position, down dog or child's pose. Again, we'll move forward. You can step up towards the front. Halfway lift, take an inhale. From forward fold, exhale. All the way to stand, inhale, come up. Hands to heart, exhale. Let's pause here, one deep breath in. All the way out. Again, we're going to start with balance. We're going to flow down into it. So let's start with the arms up, inhale. And fold down, exhale. We'll stay in that fold. Let's start to balance on the right leg. So the left toes might step back behind you, like in that modified airplane. Or go ahead and lift it up to about the height of your hip. Continue to see about folding down over that front leg. You can always have a little bend at the knee to help reduce some of the strain at the joints. But really strong muscles coming from your foot up to meet that knee. Working into hamstrings, working into that outer edge of your hip. Lots of stabilizers working to hold you up. And then again, we'll find the floor behind you. You can ease your foot down somewhere back there to find our runner's lunge. Once you're in that runner's lunge, we're going to take a flow down here. So we'll start to straighten out that front leg, lifting the hips up and back, again getting into hamstrings and that outer thigh, and then coming back down into the lunge. Maybe your upper body flows too. So as you lift the hips, lower your head, fold over the leg. But as you sink the hips, broaden the shoulders back, lift through the chin, through the head. And again, lifting the hips, folding down. Sinking back into the lunge, lengthen out. One more, straightening. And then bend. And then from here, grounding that back heel to the floor, setting up for your warrior one legs. Really pushing into that back heel if you can, and coming all the way up, warrior one. And front leg might be more fatigued than the back, so really grounding into that back heel, strengthening up through the back leg, letting that hold you up here. From warrior one, we'll start to straighten the front leg. And again, like airplane, arms come back. Float your heart forward. And just hovering at a little bit of an angle. You don't have to come very far down. Think about coming forward. And then that extra squeeze of the feet against the floor. Really strong legs, especially those inner legs. Give it another breath. And then once again, warrior one, all the way up. Bend that front leg, sweep the arms high. And then all the way down, hands to the floor. Stepping back, flowing through your space to be, however you need to be. Connecting to your breath and your body as always. As you're ready, bring it forward, feet to the front. Halfway lift, inhale. And forward fold, exhale. Stand up tall, inhale, reach. Hands to heart, exhale. Second side, arms up, inhale. And fold down. We'll be balancing right here on the left leg. So right toe stepping back or lifting up. Your hands can stay right down near the ground, on the ground, or they can work a little closer to your foot if your balance feels steady. More working into that forward fold, grounding into your foot. feeling the muscles at work in your pose. We'll give it another breath. And then again, find the floor behind you. Maybe it takes a few steps to get all the way into your runner's lunge. Enough space to push down into the hips. But really push back into the heel, working into the back leg. And then our flow down here. We'll straighten out that front leg. Then you can fold over it. And then sinking back down, you can lengthen out the spine, reach forward. Couple more straightening and folding. And then sinking back down, lengthening out. Again, lifting into the hips and lowering. Let's take one more. Once you're in that lunge, again, we'll try to ground the back heel behind you. You can step your foot down so it's flat, even if you need a little shorter stance. And then bring it up. Push down through the feet to lift into warrior one. Getting all the way up, feeling strong, feeling tall. And then we'll take the arms back behind you. Straighten out the front leg and start to tilt forward. Again, maybe just a little ways forward. So we start to feel it in the back side of the left leg. Compress into the feet. Again, feel some of the muscles running up through the inner leg. Breathe. And then finally, one more warrior one. Take it all the way up. Inhale. To the floor with your exhale. And again, moving however you need to move. If you're flowing through that inhale for plank, that exhale to lower. Deep breath into the belly as you lift to your back bend. And that whole exhale out through your downward facing dog. We'll be moving it forward again, both feet to the front. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Take it up, inhale to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause here, another full breath in. And out. All right, we'll take one more set of standing work. Let's flow into it again. We'll take the arms up with the inhale. Fold down through your exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Stepping your left foot back. Once again, our warrior one. And on this first side. Once you've got that warrior one, right foot in front, left heel grounding down behind you. Feel it for a moment. And then we'll take the hands down to the hips. Once again, we'll straighten out that front leg and start to tilt over it like we did before. But now with your hands guiding around at the hips, you can just nudge your right hip backwards a little bit and nudge your left hip forward a little bit. Doesn't have to be much, just enough to kind of feel where that goes in either of your thighs and your hips. From here, we'll continue to fold. So we're going to fold over that front leg. You can always give a little bend as you come down, going towards straight. But not everyone's legs will be able to be actually straight. At that point, you can take your hands onto your thigh, onto your shin, maybe fingertips to the floor. And just pausing here, letting your body soften through the spine, through the neck, through the head, while still holding that structure in the legs. And then making a little adjustment, we're going to step the back foot forward, maybe about a foot. So you can bring it closer to the front foot. It also may need to be a little wider, so don't be afraid to make that adjustment. Wherever it can be, you don't want to feel any torquing in your back. Nothing feels iffy there or unstable. Continue to work down into the front leg. but still pressing down through both feet. Again, we're going to step the back foot forward a little bit closer. Maybe the toes come into the line of the back heel, the back of the front heel. And that might be where you stay for the next few breaths, or that option to take the back leg behind the front leg and bring it even further forward. So you're making a cross of your legs. So they're one in front of the other, right leg in front of the left. If that doesn't work in your legs today, keep that wider stance. And then finally, taking that left foot up to the line of your right foot, either hip distance apart or even a little wider. Taking a few moments to just let your body even out. Notice what might feel lopsided. You can give it a little sway, side to side. Bend one knee, straighten the other. As you find your way to a centered spot, weight is even in your feet. Bend into both knees. Take a deep halfway lift, or deep breath into your halfway lift. And hold it for your exhale. And take another deep breath in. And then fold. Exhale down. Coming all the way up. Stand up tall with your inhale. And hands to heart. Exhale. All right, we've got one more side. Arms reach back up. Inhale. Fold it down. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. We'll take the right foot back, again working towards our warrior one to start us off. Getting tall, but staying grounded. Once you've got your warrior one, we'll take the hands to the hips. Straighten out the front leg a ways and start to tilt over it. Again, as we get into that tilt, just using your hands to give your pelvis a little nudge. So you're not cranking on it. You're just guiding the left hip back a little bit, right hip forward a little bit. It might only move 1/8 of an inch. Continue to ground into the feet. Give the legs that activation. And we'll start to fold even further over that front leg. As you come down, your hands can come down. Again, they might brace on your leg somewhere. Or maybe they reach the floor. As you fold, feel free to take a wider stance of your feet already. If that gives you a little more space to be comfortable. Again, that idea of a softer upper body. Release your shoulders, your neck, your jaw. But still strong in the lower body. And then we'll step the back foot forward, maybe a foot or so, foot and a half. Just seeing where that goes. How does it shift the pose in your body? Continue to ground into both feet. Obviously, we might feel that a little more in the left leg than the right, but continue to work both legs. Again, we'll step forward, right foot maybe to the line behind your left foot. Again, you can be wider or more narrow right here for a few breaths. And again, either staying put or bringing the back foot behind the front leg. Maybe all the way over to the other side, nudging your foot up. To come up to meet that other foot. Can be anywhere along that line. It can be crossed, it can be uncrossed. Take it where you can breathe. And then both feet coming to equal standing. Again, hip distance or a little wider. Even it out. Maybe give it a little sway. And once again, we'll come to that halfway lift again, a little longer in that halfway lift. Really strong press to the feet, strengthening up to the hips, taking that full breath all the way in and out. And then one more inhale. When you exhale, fold it down. Next inhale comes all the way up to stand. Hands to heart, exhale. Take a breath in there. Next exhale, let your arms just come down at your sides, coming into just a sturdy mountain pose. Even here can be a bit of a balance. So if you close your eyes and you feel wobbly, you might keep your eyes open, again, finding a gazing point. And take a moment to stand, to feel grounded, to feel tall, to feel your breath moving through. And if your eyes are closed, you can blink them open. Take the arms back up overhead one more time. Inhale. Fold down with your exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. We'll step it back. One last plank. Find your way through. Take a deep breath in that plank. Using your exhale to lower it down. Your back bend. Inhale. And down dog. Exhale. And just one breath in for down dog. And then to the knees. Let's all meet in child's pose. Big toes come together. The knees can come together or go out wide. Let your head come down to rest. Staying here a little while, come back to the sound of your body breathing. Maybe getting a little more feedback, both from just being right there at the ground, but also your body right up against itself, feeling the movement of the breath, pressing against your legs or towards your legs. Staying just a little longer in that child's pose, but taking your hands out and over to your right. So you can walk your hands across, maybe towards the edge of your mat, and let the left side of your body stretch. Continue to invoke that child's pose feel. So your head lowers, softens, relax the body. Bring it over to the other side. Walk your hands towards your left. Stretch out into that right edge of the body. You might be initiating that stretch with a big reach, but then try to make it a little more passive, relax. Coming back through to center. From center, we'll find our way back up to all fours, just a little bit more cat-cow. Or any other intuitive movement, sometimes side to side feels good. And we'll be moving to sit. And you can sit any way, again, that's comfortable, cross-legged, long-legged, butterfly-legged, kneeling, but something that helps you get up nice and tall. Let's come into the arms and the shoulders just a little bit here, starting with the wrists.
can work your hands around themselves. Making sure to go both directions, turn it around at some point. And then taking your hands up near your shoulders, bring the elbows around, big circles, mirroring each other. And this too, you can take both directions. And then we'll take the arms all the way up. Take a big reach overhead. Take an inhale. We'll bend the elbows down and out to the sides with your exhale. And then squeeze your elbows backwards with the inhale. And then bring your elbows forward with the exhale, all the way towards touching. And back up through the inhale, reach tall. Go wide with the exhale, cactus arms. Squeeze backwards with another breath in. And all the way forward with your breath out. Take one more flow through, arms up, inhale. To the sides, exhale. Squeezing back, inhale. And forward. This time we'll take eagle arms. We'll take the right arm under the left, looking at the elbows. You can try to squeeze the hands upright, or you can take your hands down to the shoulders, a little softer. But try to lift the elbows forward. And then we'll take your chin over to your right. Just checking in where that might go down into your neck, meet into your shoulders. And then bring your elbows along. So guide your elbows over, you're taking a twist, mostly through that mid upper back. Give it another deep breath. And then unwind it all. Take apart the twist and the arms. And just give them a little shrug. If you need to adjust your legs for a second, feel free to open them up and then bring them back in. Coming back to whatever seated position works. And we're just going to repeat that flow of the arms again. So you can reach arms up high. Inhale, see if you can get hands to touch. Then bring it out wide, exhale. And squeezing backwards, shoulder blades come towards each other. And then as you bring your arms together, shoulder blades spread apart. Back up, inhale. Wide with the exhale. Backwards with the inhale. And forwards, exhale. One more round, inhale, reach up. Exhale, come out. Backwards. And as we come forward, left under right this time, eagle arms again. Option for hands down or hands up, but elbows lift up. Starting with just your head with that turn to the left. Take your chin across. Give it a breath. Then bring the elbows along. Follow that twist over. Give it another breath. And then again, we'll take it all the way apart. Unwind the arms and the twist, and let your shoulders relax. Maybe let your legs relax. Again, we're all going to bring the legs out when you're ready to straighten them out into staff pose. Hands can come down at your sides, pressing down at your palms, pressing down to the back of your heels, and lifting up through your toes, and lifting up to the crown of your head. Taking just another breath here. And then we're going to flip it, bring it down onto your back. So finding your way to that staff pose, reclined version.
So when you get down, just make sure you can lengthen out your back, your spine, and then reaching up to your legs. Feel free to support your legs with your hands if that feels a little better, a little easier, or have your arms right down at your sides. Working towards grounding into the low back. So we're not coming into a big arch. And we put a little more support in the lumbar spine. And also working towards straightening the legs. Not everyone's legs are going to go all the way straight. Again, don't worry if they can't. See about pushing up through the heels, spreading out through your toes. And then let's see about adding a cross of the legs. We'll bring the right leg in front of the left. Seeing about crossing them just as far as they go naturally. They might not want to go very far. And then we're just going to switch it out. The left leg comes in front of the right. Squeezing across. And then coming back through to center, you can bend at the knees and give your legs a little squeeze. And then help your feet to the floor. Pausing for a moment in constructive rest, or maybe a little windshield wiper side to side. Let the ground hold you for a moment. And then we'll take your right ankle up into figure 4, so you can cross the ankle above the thigh up near your knee. You can use your right hand to guide your right leg a little further away from you. Just to your degree. Again, not everybody's legs are going to move the same way, but you give it that intention to open out versus fall in towards you. I'm just giving it a little sway down here. You can guide your legs left and right. See where that might go in your hips. You can stay low or bring this in, helping your legs towards you. You can reach through to catch the left leg, or just let your legs hover on their own. Wherever you are, you might again take a little sway side to side. And then we're going to once again see about crossing the legs thigh over thigh. So you can bring the right leg a little tighter over the left. So if you can do that with your legs in towards you, you might again be able to hug them in. That can be super duper tight. If it doesn't work, take the legs side by side. So take that cross out and just give your legs a good squeeze in. And then we're going to take it all apart. So your feet are grounded at the floor, and move it into a bridge pose, just to let the front line of the hips open for a moment. So ground your feet, lift your hips, feel the breath coming through. And then release your weight back to the floor. We'll start our figure 4 on the second side. So the left ankle to the right knee. Again, just a little guidance with the left palm, sliding your thigh a little further out. Being mindful of your hip, of your knee, try not to put any strain anywhere. See what happens if you give it a little sway, left or right. And either staying put or bringing those legs in again towards the body, maybe even reaching around and squeezing the right leg in a little closer. You can just do a direct squeeze or again that sway side to side. And then we'll see about that tighter cross of the legs again. So we're closing that gap between the thighs, left leg over the right. Maybe they can continue to get squeezed in towards you. Again, if that's straining something, pulling really hard on a knee, on a hip, side by side is going to be great. Either way, give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze. And once again, we'll take it apart into bridge pose. So both feet flat on the floor, arms down at your side. Also remember to keep the head and neck nice and centered as you lift. Bringing the hips up. Find your bridge. Easing back out of that bridge, lower it on down. When you get to the floor, we'll take the feet a little wider. Arms can spread out wide, and we'll go side to side. Traveling with the knees, windshield wiper legs. You can also travel with your head, chin tilting left and right. Take your time. The next time that your knees come over to your right, let them stay there a little longer. Take out any holding, take out any anticipation in the body that wants to lift it back up to come to the other side. See what you can relax here. We'll stay another minute or so in this twist. If you want to shift it into a different version of a twist, feel free to bring your left leg over to meet your right. You can nudge your hips to the center of your mat as you shift into a different twist, or stick with windshield wiper, wherever feels good to just soak this in. And then we'll start to bring it over to the other side. You can unwind through that windshield wiper, over and across, knees to the left. Start there, letting your body soften and melt into the left side windshield wiper. Again, if you want to shift into another version of a twist, take that time now and make sure to settle back in, releasing that excess tension, anything that's getting ready to move, let it go. Bringing yourself into stillness. And in your own time, we'll start to find our way back through to center. At constructive rest, where your knees are bent and your spine can re-center, set it up. Check in what you might need to finish out your practice, if it's a bridge or knees to chest or a big stretch through the whole body. listen to your body and give it one last thing. We'll be moving into our final relaxation as you're ready. So you can begin to get yourself there. Whatever it takes to become comfortable. And as your body starts to settle into this final relaxation, give it a few breaths to just arrive at Shavasana. And we'll ease into the rest of Shavasana with a few more of those ocean breaths and with covering your ears, and if you like, even your eyes as well. So if you use your fingers on your eyes and your thumbs, just lightly close your ears. You can take, again, maybe 3, 4, 5 breaths to clear out the space. And when you're finished, release your arms to a comfortable position and continue into that relaxation. Taking a few more moments here where you're still relaxed, nothing else has to happen. Beginning to connect back into that softer feeling of your breath, just the natural rising and falling. Breath coming in, breath going out. And then starting to connect down into your hands and your feet. Starting there to reawaken fingers and toes. Moving through your wrists and your ankles. Feel free to take a stretch out in any direction. And then gather yourself in. Begin to bring your knees in towards you. Perhaps another little sway side to side. Eventually curling up onto one side. Just pausing there for a moment. Can you release again? Even though it's just a few seconds. What can relax? And then we'll find our way on up to sit. Gathering yourself up, feeling maybe a little bit more alert coming into the rest of your day. And at the same time, being able to relax, being able to connect back to that stillness.
Taking a moment before we end to think of something that you are grateful for today. It can be absolutely anything, but give a moment to be thankful, to feel gratitude. Whether that arises as a sense of comfort or relief or a smile, let yourself have it. And then again, we'll take hands to heart stacked. So palm facing your heart, the other palm on top of that hand. Taking a moment to be grateful for this breath. Feeling it move through your body. Feeling that sense of life. We'll close with 3 breaths together. You can bring palms to touch at the center. Take a deep breath in. And a slow breath out. And breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Namaste.